The NBA commissioner Adam Silver and Ja Morant have both reacted to the news of Ja being suspended following another incident in which Ja flashed a gun on Instagram Live over the weekend. He said, "I know that I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. This is a journey and I recognize there is more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full accountability for my actions. I'm committed to continuing to work on myself." Commissioner Adam, who was present at the NBA's draft lottery, Silver admitted that he was shocked when he saw the video, and he said that the league is in the process of investigating and will figure out exactly what happened to the best that they can. The video is a bit grainy and all that, but I'm assuming the worst. Adam went on to admit he thought the 8-game suspension he gave Ja the first time around was pretty serious, and he thought that Ja was taking it serious. He said they talked for a long time, not only about the consequences, but also the safety issues around it, how he could have injured somebody, killed someone, or himself, and how big of a star Ja is and the huge following that he has on social media. Millions, if not tens of millions of kids globally would have seen him do something that was celebrating in a way. That act of using a firearm in that fashion is what the commissioner Adam Silver had to say. Again, there's no rush to suspend Ja for a specific amount of games right now. I mean, it's the summer. Ja knows he's going to get suspended. A lot of people are saying 25 games. I've heard a few people throw out 16 games, which will be double the 8-game suspension Ja had. You know, if I were Ja, man, if there were any type of surgery I need that might take a little longer for me to recover, if there's something I can keep on the low about my body that I need to get done, I might go ahead and opt to do it now, because he's going to be sitting to start his 2023-24 season. Just no other way around it. I think Ja said a mouthful right there in that statement. I think, I'm going to treat him as a younger adult, despite him being in his early 20s. Like, I'm going to treat him like a teenager. I remember when I was a teenager. By the way, some of Ja's action has been teenage-like, so I'm going to treat it as if he's a teenager. When I was a teenager, oftentimes I had to learn the hard way that once you lie, to your parents or the people around you, that trust is very difficult to build, but very easy to lose. And when Ja came out and made his rounds and did the interview with Jalen Rose and discussed his consequences with Adam Silver the first time around, I think a lot of people took Ja serious, whether he was serious or not. I mean, that video would tell you otherwise. Again, I do want to keep in mind and put in perspective that Ja is a young dude that's in his off season. And I think more than anything, Ja needs to be more cognizant of having weapons in his hands and also his surroundings, the people that he got in the company that he keeps. That doesn't seem like a great friend to me. I don't care how quick the friend tried to pull that phone down. Why would we record anyway? We are the clout. That didn't make enough sense to me. But again, the biggest issue is Ja and these flashing of the guns. I think we need to figure out the why behind that, right? Like it's America. People have guns, right? People have guns in their cars. Let me be more specific about it. But the flashing of the weapon feels so childish to me for a guy that has access to so much. Why are you still mesmerized by guns? There's not a lot to this. They can kill. That's all you really need to know. They can kill when used. That's something people do when they're teenagers. That's something people do when they don't really have the gun in their hand often. Every time they have it, it's for a camera, right? Like that's all that type of energy, bottled in one. And I think the why behind why Ja continues to feel like he's got a new toy in his hand when he has a gun. If you bout that life, you trust me, when you put that thing in your hand, you really say to yourself, man, I hope I don't have to use this. If you really trying to be in protective mode of your energy, when I see you flashing it, to me, it feels like you on offense with the gun. I'm just telling you how I feel looking at it from my perspective. I hope Ja does learn. He's still young. I hope this suspension really does whatever it takes. I'm serious. I want to be clear with y'all about where I'm at with it. Whatever it takes to get this young brother to realize he can be a billionaire. I want you to understand this. I have no stake in the fight. I want to see this young brother run it up. I understand that. I think most people want to see Ja run it up. There's not too many people that have face of the league potential. And Ja's slowly but surely making it very difficult for him to ever become that because he's getting the wrong type of popularity right now. Look at the NBA right now. This is just something I was thinking about over the last 48 to 72 hours. Look at what's going on right now. You know, last year, the Warriors won the championship, but they had to go through Luka Doncic in the Western Conference Finals. Okay, Luka Doncic is not from the States. He's a foreign-based star. Okay, but year before that, it was Giannis and the Bucks winning the championships. Giannis not from here. Look at who's dominating right now. Nikola Jokic, he's not from here. What I'm trying to say is a lot of the best players in the league right now are not from the States. And yes, that's great that the NBA is a global entity that allows for people to come from all different races and directions and all that and play basketball. That's great. But some of these brands, some of these sponsorships, these advertisements, let's call it a spade a spade. They're going to want to do business with people from America. Those stories are so much easier to tell. You can use, you know, the growing up aspect of it, the inner city aspect of it, the collegiate aspect of it. There's so many different storylines and things you could do. There's a reason why Nike picked him to have the signature shoe. There's a lot to you what you can do with an American-born athlete, especially with somebody with the beautiful, fantastic, explosive game of Ja Morant. I want to see him run it up. He's got a great opportunity as one of the true young stars that we have from the States right now. Most of the stars right now are coming from out the country into the country. Victor Wembanyama's the next star. He ain't from here. There is a great opportunity for a guy like Ja Morant, a guy like Jason Tatum right now. We talking about billions on the line right now for these young brothers. And to see him throw it all away for something that is just fictitious. I'm telling you, man, the thing that he chasing was the exact same thing I've been running away from my whole life. I'm from that place that he played basketball from, for real, and really from it, for real. The thing that he seems like he's chasing is the exact thing I never wanted a part of. I've been running from that my whole life. You know, it ain't funny to me. Like, this is why this story getting covered, because it's serious to me. This is why this story is getting covered. I saw somebody say, why are we talking so much about Ja Morant's story and not about other things? This is a big deal, and it's a very scary one for a lot of people, hardworking citizens of the country, right? Especially black people. I'm just be honest with you. This is a big deal that one of our own is fantastic and can make millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars, but is choosing seemingly to look the other way and choose a lifestyle that would take him backwards. That's problematic for us. We can't have that. We can't afford to have that right now. Hopefully, Ja gets it together. Adam Silver seems like he's gonna throw the hammer at him. Adam, I was watching that interview live, and it just seemed like he was more or less anything kind of nervous to talk to Malika Andrews about it. A little shook by the whole thing. Did not want to be talking about this in that moment as you're about to usher in a new star in Victor Wembanyama. I'm sure Adam's got a lot on his mind. Ironically, the guy that's expected to be the number 2 pick in this year's draft. Ja obviously a former number 2 overall pick in 2019. Brandon Miller is the guy that's had, I'm not laughing at what he's, been involved in. I'm serious, but like Brandon Miller is the guy that potentially had his issue that was serious, right? And he's about to bring him and Victor in. I'm sure Adam's thinking to himself, man, there's a lot going on, right? I got a lot on my mind, right? It's supposed to be a celebratory moment right now as we find out the team that's going to draft this once-in-a-generation prospect. So, and he's talking about Ja Morant, and it's not because the Memphis Grizzlies are in the Western Conference Finals. I'm out.